All right, we're here. We're going to talk about what we think is going to happen in the Nintendo Direct airing on June 21st, 2023 at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. I like the early morning directs, honestly. But I'm here with beloved Monster Hunter YouTuber Sky85SR.
Let's go.
And we're very excited for the Nintendo Direct. More items for us to consume, more ways for us to give our money to Nintendo. I mean, very exciting times. But figured we give a discussion on what we expect to see and what we're excited for. And we'd like to hear what you guys are expecting as well down in the comments below. But I'll let you start. What do you think we're going to see tomorrow at this Nintendo Direct?
All right, first prediction, the opener. We're gonna open with more Tears of the Kingdom. They're gonna announce the DLC, just like they did with Breath of the Wild.
How
And
long?
I'm going to
Yeah, go ahead.
absolutely consume it like a consumer
Hmm.
that I am.
So how long was it after the after Breath of the Wild's release until the DLC came out? Like was announced, I guess. Oh,
I
it
have
was
no
announced.
idea.
Wasn't it announced like way before the game came out? Because I remember there was like a season. You could pre-order like the DLC with like a season pass thing or something. Because I remember buying that like day one when the Switch came out. So like I feel like they announced that there was going to be DLC like way earlier. So I mean I have no doubt there'd be DLC to this, but I'm surprised it hasn't already come out yet.
Yeah, yeah, I'm pretty sure they did announce it for Breath of the Wild pretty early, and it's has been over a month since Tears of the Kingdom. Uh, I have no doubt they'll announce these DLC for it.
What do you think the DLC
And
will
that's
be? Like what do you think it'll
I have
entail?
no idea. It could just be something like the Trials of the Sword, like Breath of the Wild,
Will you get a
where they
motorcycle again?
put you through like a gauntlet. Um, Probably not, just because just the way Tears of the Kingdom works, and also like why would you not just build a hover bike?
It's
Pretty
a
much
good
just
point.
obsoletes it.
I didn't
But
really get into the
yeah,
Breath of the Wild DLC.
yeah. I, so I'm pretty sure they'll do something like Breath of the Wild where there's like two waves. The first wave will probably be like Trials of the Sword, but the more interesting would be whatever the second one is. For Breath of the Wild, it was the Champions Ballad, and it went a little bit more into like the four champions, and then at the very end, your reward was the Master Cycle Zero. But Tears
Let's
of the Kingdom,
go.
I have no idea what they're planning to do. Um, we'll just have to see about that.
Yeah, I mean,
Probably something similar with the four original sages or five, I guess.
I'd be interested to see like what they decide to do, because there's already so much in the game. I'm like, what more could you add? Like, there's so much in the game already, but it'll be interesting to see what they do. Other than that, it said explicitly in the tweet. I should probably mention that it's going to feature new information about Pikmin 4. I feel like that's pretty obvious considering that game comes out next month. It comes out like I think on the 21st of July, so like a month from the direct airing. So uh, that'll be pretty obvious to see. I don't know what to expect from that. I think Pikmin 4 is looking pretty good from what they've showed so far. I like how it. I don't know. It definitely looks more modern than something like Pikmin 3, which was originally like a Wii game. So I don't know if you have anything to say about Pikmin 4, but I'm thinking it looks good.
No, I don't. I know people really like it. I just never been into the series at all,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah, well, there's always time to start now. But I should clarify, Pikmin 3 was obviously on Wii U, but it started out as a Wii game and then kind of was brought to Wii U. Before I get someone in the comments being like, well, actually, you obviously don't know anything about the Wii U. And I'm like one of 10 people who bought a Wii U and bought like 50 games when it came out. So obviously I do. But other than that, I don't really know what to expect from this. So we've been seeing rumors. Have you been seeing the rumors that are kind of going around about a couple different things? We've been seeing rumors about a new 2D Mario. I feel like that's a pretty safe guess, though. We've not had an original 2D Mario game for the Switch, just New Super Mario Bros. U. And I guess Mario Maker 2, if you want to count that, but that's, Mario Maker. But as far as like original 2D Mario game, seems likely. Seems like the rumors we're getting. What do you have to say to this?
Um, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind a 2D Mario game. I just really want the next 3D Mario game. You know,
Yeah, I mean, I do too.
it it it's been almost what 6 years now.
Yeah, it was October
Odyssey came out
2017.
October
Yeah,
2017.
so it's
Yeah,
almost 6 years.
I'm waiting for the next 3D Mario game.
They let the Breath of the Wild team cook for 6 years, and they put out Tears of the Kingdom. So I mean, imagine the Mario Odyssey team cooking for 6 years now to put out something very, very exciting, very tantalizing. I say, but as far I want to see, of course, 3D Mario 2. I don't know if we will. Um, I think the big thing I was kind of on the side like we're probably not going to get a direct in June, but the only thing that like and we'll just go to September like Nintendo has been doing lately, but the only thing that made me hesitant of that is that we don't know anything about anything after Pikmin and we don't know what their big holiday game is going to be. Like last year we could just be like, okay, yeah, Pokemon's their holiday game. We don't need a direct. We'll see it in September and that'll give us the stuff for early 2023. But now it's like okay, we don't know holiday games. They usually put out a game, in October. They usually put out a game in November. They usually put out a game in like early December. So I think there's a good chance. I would love to see 3D Mario, but I think there's a good chance 2D Mario shows up. But either way, I'm thinking Mario shows up in some way. Do you have anything to say to that?
Yeah, in some big way. Uh,
What would
it's
you
been a really long time.
What would you want to see out of a 2D Mario game though?
I don't something that's not like New Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah,
Something it needs to be.
I don't
No,
want
let's
that art style.
Yeah.
I want something like so when we got like Mario Odyssey, it was like such a new thing for Mario. Like it felt all original. Like it wasn't like we're just getting Mushroom Kingdom and same thing with like Galaxy. It's like we're getting more than just Toads and Mushroom Kingdom and Goombas and stuff like that. I want to see something like that for 2D Mario because I mean we haven't seen a 2D Mario that feels completely original since literally what Super Mario World on the console. Like
Right.
so I mean it's been a while. So I don't know. I'd like to see something kind of like Did you play Wario Land Shake It on the Wii? It had like more of like a 2D art style. That was a good one.
Of course I did not.
Yeah, I figured. I don't think anyone played that game, but that game has a cool 2D art style, and I'd like to see something like that. I don't really want to see like a 2.5D, but we'll have to see. I don't know. Um, Either way, we know that any new 2D Mario game is going to come out, and it's going to be $70, and that Twitter will be erupting for at least 2 months.
Yeah, I'm sure if even if it's $60, Twitter would just erupt.
Yeah. Other than that, 2D Mario was the main one. This one I don't believe, but we'll see. There's a rumor of Super Mario RPG remake. See, with leaker culture is weird because, you know, most of the time the stuff is real or someone makes something vague up, and then it can kind of be interpreted in several ways. So someone originally was like, there's going to be a remake of an SNES classic game. So then we're kind of like picking up like what could this be? Some people are like Super Metroid maybe or whatever. And then someone was like one of the leakers, I think Zippo, who's like not reliable at all, not to call him out. I don't know who this person is, but I don't feel like their track record's very good. But Zippo says like, oh, it's going to be a HD 2D remake of Chrono Trigger, and I'm like, I don't know about that. Like, I don't know if I believe that. And then someone else is like, yeah, it's going to be Super Mario RPG remake. So, what do we think? Do we think any of this is real, or do we think this is all just leaker? One leaker says something, and then kind of to get clout, someone else latches onto it or says something else. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't. I wouldn't really believe any of the. I don't really like the leakers, like just like individuals like that. When it's something like the Persona 3 Reload leak,
That's a
that's
real leak
literally
where Atlas
Atlas.
like leaked it. Yeah.
That's a real leak, and that's I guess we're gonna see that in the direct because Atlas leaked it, of course. But that's like an actual real leak.
Hmm.
But it's just some random individual saying, "Hey, uh, Mario RPG remaster is coming out." It's like, I mean, you can say anything on Twitter or 4chan or whatever location
Yeah,
you want to say it in, and
there
I
are
mean,
very
it's
few
either gonna be
people.
right or wrong.
There are very few people I kind of trust. Like, okay, whatever scoop they have is probably right. Like, Andy Robinson from what is that website? I can't remember. Video Video Game Chronicle. He has pretty good sources, it would seem. Jason Schreier, who has me blocked on Twitter for some reason, has good sources. Obviously, there's like certain journalists, like if they say it, I'm like, okay, yeah, I believe that. But as far as random guys uh, whose whole claim to fame is being a leaker, the only one I believe is that guy, the Snitch, just because it's assumed that he works for YouTube and is able to see like things in the back end of channels like uploading their things and seeing them that way. That's the only guy I believe for leaks because he has like a pretty much 100% track record. But you're out here talking to the guys who are like, yeah, this is going to happen. And then they're like, oh, plans change. Like, whatever. Like, I don't believe those people anymore. But figure we should address at least those leaks. But that's kind of all we've heard rumbling from the show so far. So, do we have any predictions otherwise that we think? Like, we got the kind of Zelda, we think DLC will happen. We got Pikmin, which they said is going to happen, and then a few rumors that we've heard around. So, what do we? What are your predictions otherwise?
I mean, I don't really have any other predictions. I honestly just have no idea what to expect. I
Well,
know people really, I mean, people want to see stuff that they want, like Prime
mm-hmm.
4. Um, they restarted developments, or they announced the restart of the development in
January of
January 2019.
2019. It's been a long time, and
It's been 4 years, over 4 years since that announcement.
odds are they probably 2018 restarted the development and then were able to like talk about it being restarted. So, I mean, it could possibly have been 5 years ago they restarted that development. So, I mean, Metroid Prime 4 is something interesting. Do we see that? Do you think?
Yeah, I mean, if we are going to see it, I don't know.
I have my
It
theory of
could
Metroid Prime 4. I
it's
think.
it
What
could
were you going?
they could very well announce it. It would probably be like the very like, oh, one more thing announcement.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be pretty hype because this game was originally announced
6 years ago,
what, 20s? Yeah,
2017.
6 years ago. Literally 6 years ago.
It's been a while. My
In
theory
a very long
is
time.
for that one is that they'll do a Breath of the Wild Wii U Switch situation where it'll be like a launch game for the follow up to the Switch, which we're assuming will come out sometime next year, but it'll also come out for the Switch, and it'll be like cross. And obviously, the Switch update, new Switch, whatever they call it, Switch 2, will be the better version of it, but we will get the the Switch owners who aren't gonna jump over immediately will still get Metroid Prime 4. That's what I think could happen, but I'm not 100% sure. Obviously, that's just a speculation, but it could be interesting. But Metroid Prime 4 otherwise, like if that's not their plan with it, I could definitely see it popping up just because it's like you you got to really talk about that again because it's like you gave us the information 2014 that it's 2019 that it's rebooted and then we haven't heard from it since. So it's like are people are going to start thinking like, okay, is this dead again? Like what's going on here? But um I don't know. I think there's a chance, but I don't know. I kind of go with my theory a little bit more. But speaking of Switch hardware, just yes or no, do you think we're going to see anything about that?
I doubt it.
Like the one more thing is like, by the way, I wouldn't
I
think so
really
either.
doubt they're gonna announce new hardware. I mean, I'd be a little upset because I just bought an OLED, but I just don't see them making more powerful hardware anytime soon. They just seem very complacent with what they have right now. And it's kind of a
Yeah.
shame because even like Tears of the Kingdom, where they had literally 6 years to polish and really optimize that game, the game looks really good. But there's just times when the frame rate dips, and it's
Yeah, the frame rate can get pretty rough.
if the frame rate dips, and then I obviously I play Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, and the game runs at 720p, and the frame rate dips. Play other games, also looks rough, and it
Not
is
ideal,
very much outdated
especially when we
hardware.
have
It's not ideal
PS5.
now.
Part of me believes
It's
that if we
just
were to see new hardware, it would already start leaking, which it really isn't. Cause I mean, remember NX leaks were
no,
everywhere. Like maybe we have more to talk about now, but NX leaks were everywhere back in like 2016. Um, but I do think it's getting long in the tooth, the hardware, and I think Nintendo knows that, and I think that we will see, not this time, but I think so. Nintendo's doing that event in Seattle or wherever. Um, I forget when, sometime in September, October, like a fan event that they're having people. I do wonder if before that they will show off new hardware and be like, yeah, you can play it at this fan event. I mean, there's some rumors going around talking about like, oh yeah, so this is going to be, Switch 2 comes out 2024. I think that'd be an appropriate time for it to come out, but also like, they've kind of set something up to be like, all right, our fans who are going to come to this event will get hands on with the device. So that could be potential. I don't know.
yeah, the I don't know if this was mentioned, but the one if there is going to be a new system, it really better just be the Switch 2.
Yeah, like backwards compatible, more powerful. I would. The thing is, it doesn't need to be PS5 powerful. Look how many games are still. You see games 2024 coming out for PS5 that are like it's also getting PS4 version, so it has to run base PS4 from 2013 on it. So it's really like you get a Switch console now that's as powerful as like PS4 Pro, Xbox One X. I think you're probably golden for a while, just considering how many games are coming to, how many big games are coming to the PS4 still in 2024. It's just that's just what makes me think like I think Nintendo is going to try to jump on something soon, and I think it doesn't need to be super powerful. It's just they're stretching the limits. We used to always be able to play Wii or whatever and be like, all right, third party games aren't doing so hot on this, or they're not coming at all. But Nintendo's games still work well, and still have good frame rate, still look nice. But we're getting some games where it's like, man, Zelda looks nice, could look better, but it looks nice, and it's running a lot of the times at 20 FPS. So that's kind of what makes me think like, all right, they have to know. But I'm also think maybe too that they're worried like, all right, we have a good thing going here. This thing's selling still really well. Like, why do we kneecap that for new hardware? So I almost wonder, like, will we get a half step system or something? Um, I don't know. But I think that's probably all there is to say about new hardware, right?
Yeah, whatever new hardware they make, they just better not make a new gimmick. What they have now is
Just do what you have now. It's
it's just
most successful you've ever been.
yeah, it's
Just keep doing
it
it.
it it, it works. I don't know why would you bother changing it.
Other than that, my prediction that I have, and this is purely based on pattern recognition, is that we got Mario Tennis 2018, we got Mario Golf 2021, we got Mario Strikers 2022. Will we get Mario Baseball at some point?
Ooh,
I think
another
like
Mario
it's
sports game.
I think Mario Sports is obvious, right? Like I feel like it's just obvious.
Yeah,
Like they're easy to make
Mario.
for them, and they sell a ton, and they don't even have to finish the game when they put it out. They finish it later. Like that's what
Yeah,
they've done with every other game.
yeah. Add just add like Daisy in the
Yeah,
two DLCs later.
but yeah, you put out Mario Baseball in September, and then you just release Daisy DLC in like January, and then that's all you need to do.
Yeah.
That's the Mario Sports way. So something to think about there, I think, with Mario Baseball. We saw Persona 3 Atlas pretty much leak to the direct by putting out an unlisted trailer that had um, which I don't know how someone got to it if it was unlisted, but that had Switch as one of the platforms. That's not surprising. It already got leaked that some retailer had it with Switch as a platform, so I would assume. I mean, that was kind of obvious, but that's cool. I'm gonna play it on PlayStation 5 regardless. I'll probably play Tactica on Switch because that feels like more of a Switch game, but um, yeah, I'm gonna play Remake on PlayStation 5. But I hope maybe we can see some new information about the Persona 3 remake, but it'll probably just be the same trailer we saw.
Oh yeah.
But do we? There's been some stuff popping about Shin Megami Tensei 5 Complete Edition, so that might be something we see that's I think been rated somewhere or something. That's possible. Do we see a new system for Nintendo Switch Online? It's been a little
What
while
system would
since
it
Game
be?
Boy or 64.
Yeah, yeah. The Game Boy
Game Boy Advance
was
Game Boy
February.
Advance. Yeah, it's been a little
That was
while.
February.
Nintendo would rather die than try to give away the GameCube games. So, GameCube will, for all eternity, be just locked away. Speaking of GameCube, I know one of the other rumors was Thousand Year Door remake, but that always comes up, so I'm not even gonna bother with that. Like, to be completely honest,
Yeah.
that comes up every direct, and it's never real. So I'm not gonna bother with that. But I think there's some exciting things that we could see. That's I think the most exciting thing about this direct, and maybe what could also be the most unexciting, is that we don't really know anything. Like we always used to when we did prediction videos, or we see anyone's prediction videos in the past. It was like, oh yeah, everyone would be like, we're gonna see Metroid Prime 4, we're gonna see Tears of Breath of the Wild 2, we're gonna see Bayonetta 3, because those were the games that were like always lingering in the background. But now it's like, well, what do we have? We have Metroid Prime 4 is like our only game kind of lingering in the background. So, what do we expect? We don't know any. We know Pikmin 4. We know Metroid Prime 4 is somewhere. And then we know nothing for 2024. And, Nintendo releases almost like new game every month, especially in like Q4. And we don't know anything of what could be an October game, November game, December game. So, I think that's just a big part of it. So, if you were to say, what do you think the big holiday game is for this season, and then what are going to be like two other games that'll come out for the rest of the year? Like, what do you think for those three games?
Gosh, putting me on the spot. I
Here, I'll go first since I kind of put you on the spot there. Mine, I would say, of three games. So, holiday game, I think, is going to be a 2D Mario game of some sort. And I would have said that without leaks, just because we haven't got one. And it's time. Mario movie came out. Maybe it's kind of tied in with the Mario movie, like it's kind of those designs or something. Maybe based around that world a little bit more, that interpretation. But I think 2D Mario will be the holiday game, November game. I think that there will be September, October game. Um, I would say probably a September game will be Mario Baseball is my assumption. And then the December game, December usually is time for something that's a little bit more different, a little bit more unique. So in the past, like Xenoblade came out then and stuff like that. My guess for there is some kind of Platinum Games game. So I think maybe it's Astral Chain 2, maybe it's something completely different. I think we're gonna get something Platinum in like December. Either that or maybe a Fire Emblem remake, but I think it's been too close to Engage, so I'm gonna go with Platinum. So what do we think?
I'm gonna go with Xenoblade Chronicles X for the Switch.
Wow, bro, the Wii U, the final Wii U port. That's bold. That's a bold claim, but maybe I don't know. I would never count it
Yeah,
out.
I mean, we don't know. I
I would
wouldn't
never
either.
count it out, but so is that the holiday game or is that one of the games? What are your
That will
three
be
games?
the December game.
The December game? Okay, that's safe. That game came out in December of 2015, I remember. So what's your holiday game and what's your like September October game you predict? Finish out the
I
year.
mean, I do, I do think the November game will be the next Mario game. I mean, it's just been too long. You
Yeah,
just
2D or 3D.
they have to be they have to be cooking up something. You can't slow cook something forever.
Yeah, they're like broiling. It's like when they cook the pig underground. It's like what they're doing to Mario
Yeah.
right now. So yeah, I would agree with that. And then so holiday will be Mario. What do you think? September October.
Yeah, definitely some sports Mario sports games of some kind. It could be you're saying it's baseball. What else has Mario done?
Remember Mario
It
Sports
could.
Superstars where he was a jockey, horse jockey? They'll make a full game of that.
I was gonna say Mario Sports Mix,
Mario
like the Wii,
Mario
but
Mario horse betting.
but-
It's big. We found out it's big in Japan. There's horse betting places, virtual
oh
horse
yeah,
betting everywhere. So why not make Mario virtual horse betting?
yeah, Mario virtual horse betting.
That'd be pretty
But
awesome.
you also bet with real money.
Yeah, you bet with real money.
You
It's
just sit there, you just watch.
those that this is off topic, but those guys, the guys who just bet real money and then like, well, I mean, bet quote unquote because they can't legally gamble, but they have the workarounds. But the guys who just do the virtual horse betting, and it's like, what is it? And then they just sit there in a chair and watch it. It's like, what is this? But it's so weird to me. But other than that, any final predictions? Because I had one more I was going to ask, but did you have any final predictions?
Nope.
All right,
Do
my
not.
one more I was going to ask. Will we get another Zelda game? Will we get a remake, or will we get Twilight Princess HD, Wind Waker HD, or will we get like a
No,
Oracle remake?
no, it is too soon.
Too soon. Well, will they
I mean,
announce it and
again,
then
it's
it'll be like coming out in like March?
they could announce it. It's just I don't think they want to. Even then, I don't think they would announce it so soon after Tears of the Kingdom. I think the only Zelda news we're gonna get is Tears of the Kingdom DLC. My prediction is that just gonna be the first thing they're gonna show.
Okay, so opener,
But I don't.
opener
I don't
Zelda
think.
DLC.
Yes, either that or the Splatoon 3 DLC.
Oh yeah, we're gonna definitely see
But
that.
yeah, we're gonna see that. But um, I just don't think even if they are planning to make or like remake a Zelda game or like ports a Zelda game to the Switch, like Wind Waker or Twilight Princess, that would be nice. But I just don't think they would announce that so soon after Tears of the Kingdom. I think I think it's safe to say that once the Tears of the Kingdom DLC releases, if it was after the Tears of the Kingdom DLC, then I would say yeah, they might remake a Zelda game or port a Zelda game to the Switch, but I think it's very unlikely.
Okay, I agree with that. I think you hold like a Wind Waker Twilight Princess HD for like, oh, we really don't have much going on right now. Especially since that could easily run on Switch and play on Switch. So if they do the thing where they release a Switch and it's backwards compatible and everything, that would maybe come out like a 2025 when there's already a new Switch, but they need to put out stuff for the old Switch. So I think that's definitely maybe possible too. But I do like you going out with saying, what's the opener? And you say Mario or Zelda DLC. So I'm going to give you some time, but I'm going to go over my opening and closer prediction, and I want to see what you think as well. Your prediction for the closer is, but I'm going to say my opening prediction. Not to copy you, I'm going to do. It's going to be a new Mario. That's going to be the opener, and then usually the closers are something that's further off, like a kind of a little thing of like, hey, something to look forward to later. This isn't coming immediately. This is next year. I think the closer is going to be Metroid Prime 4. So what's your closer prediction?
I think my closer will be the new Mario game.
Okay.
Like even if it's not going to be releasing it like super far late, right? We're predicting that's going to come out at the end of this year. I
Yeah.
think the closer would just be the new Mario game.
Okay, I think that makes sense, and I think we got some good predictions here, more logical. I always hate the predictions where it's like my prediction is that they're gonna make Legend of Zelda: Mushroom of Time for the Switch, and Mario's gonna kiss Link on the mouth. Like I hate those videos where they name the game and it's like something that doesn't make any sense. I like to be like logical. I like it when people do predictions and be like, oh yeah, we haven't heard from a good feel in a while. Maybe they'll make a new game. Like maybe that's more boring. That's not quite as exploitable. But I like to kind of talk about like this is logical. Like this could happen rather than like, oh yeah, so in this new game, Star Fox and Samus have a baby, and then this is so cool, and it's also a RTS MOBA, and it's like I don't know, but uh, I think that'll be all for this predictions video. Going to be going up pretty soon after I upload it, so like I said before, let us know where you think things are going to go tomorrow in the comments down below. Follow me on Twitter at ObjoGaming and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Where can people find beloved Monster Hunter YouTuber Sky85 before we go?
You can find me on YouTube at Sky85, or you can find me on Twitter at Sky85SR.
All right. Well, I appreciate everyone for watching, and we will see you next time.